Is this realm a rehabilitation place of some sort? If so, are we enduring this journey to find something we don't remember? Yes, but it's more this planet, not this realm, but this planet. Yeah, this planet is, for lack of a better word, we're quarantined here, right? Quarantine, like you're being put in a section, like a waiting room, for you to be able to learn the lessons. It's like like you say, a rehabilitation center where, if you're in prison and you can show that you've reformed, then you can be released. And so, yes, the whole purpose of you being here is to learn the lessons, to graduate, to move on to higher realms, or to leave here and not come back. And these lessons include you learning how to disengage from your physical skin suit, right? This is where the practices of astral projection, or being able to kind of like leave your body and come back. And we do this anyway when we go to what people call sleep. But sleep is like the sister to what you're calling death. And so you get to practice this. But if you're preoccupied, or your mind and your being is preoccupied with a lot of the junk that you take in, and during the time when you're supposed to be traveling to other dimensions and realms, and kind of like being given leave to go and experience those other dimensions, and then in preparation for when you leave here. And Wu-Sabat is the school, right? Wu-Sabat is the ancient teachings that everyone sought. Yeah, all the best thinkers, the best minds went to seek this knowledge in ancient times. This is why everybody was going to Egypt, okay? Because what you're calling Egypt, pre-dynastic, was the land that gave the rest of the world civilization. And that came from our ancestors who came from the stars. Okay, so that is what you're being taught in Wu-Sabat. So when you go to, say, learn in the Western institutions, you're given knowledge in a fragmented way, so you would learn, a bit of history here, a bit of this, a bit of that. It's like learning about your little finger, but not learning how that finger connects to your hand and to your arm, and how the arm connects to the torso, and how everything is interrelated and interconnected. You see, so when you went to ancient Egypt, you were studying, and you really learned about the universe, not just going to university to learn one degree. Because when you look at it, a circle has what, 360 degrees, which is representative of a full circumference of knowledge of everything, right, within your surroundings. And you are the center of that circle. And you can draw various degrees, right? If you split that circle like a cake, you cut it into many pieces all around, but you're in the middle, and you have many degrees to accomplish or to learn. 360 of those which deal with the physical realm. Okay, then you have to graduate and master the 360 degrees, which is the counterpart of the physical, and that's the spiritual realm, which also gives you another 360 degrees of knowledge that you have to master. And once you master the two, you've now got 720 degrees, because for everything in the unseen world or the seen world, there is a counterpart in what you call the unseen world. And when you say unseen, it is there, but it's in a vibration or a realm or a dimension that you have to use the other parts of you which are not here. I.e., we say things like your pineal gland or the third eye. which sees beyond the physical spectrum or the visible light spectrum, which is where you're currently able to see the things within the physical. However, to see things that are beyond the physical, you have to raise your inner being. Your inner being is going to consist of the parts of you that you know are there, but you don't know, or they're not tangible for you, enough for you to be like, okay, this is my mind. So your mind is actually outside. So this is the mental realm that you're connecting to. So yes, you have to master everything within, or as much as possible. It's like when we say everything, when you go to university or you're studying any course, you don't have to get everything, but you have to get a pass mark, right? And depending on what that is, 50% is halfway, right? So you normally have to pass and get more than 50%. 60, 70% is great. 80 or good student. And 90% and above, obviously, even better. So you master what you can, and Wu-Sabat is able to answer all these questions to teach you in a holistic manner, not just you learn one degree and you don't know about the other 359. So you were taught in ancient times in a holistic way. You learned about science, you learned about alchemy, you learned about, nature, you learned about everything all at once. And this is why they were referred to as the greater mysteries. Those who didn't make the grade or just got a bare pass, they were given the lesser mysteries, you see. And so it's really down to you. If you're ready as the student, the master teacher will come. And that's why Parnabab Yanun, Dr. Malachi Z.K. York, is referred to as the master teacher. He's the one that has written these books, and is the one that was teaching back in those days as the being most known as Tahuti or Thoth or Hermes, depending on which culture and which language you're using to interpret who this being is. But he's here once again to renew everything, to make everything clear, to set the record straight, to tell the truth regardless. And people have to reckon with it. Those who are ready, regardless of your background, your religion, doesn't matter if you're, a Christian, a Muslim, a Jew, because we went through these schools so that we can learn and know what they were being taught. And we graduated from those as we walked back into our culture of Wu-Sabat, the original way for beings on this planet, before it got desecrated and then distorted, and now people are confused with misinformation and wrong information. So we have to come as student teachers of Parnabab Yanun and set the record straight. This is not about your emotions. It's not about you liking me or not liking me, liking Dr. York or not liking him, because you can't please everyone. But truth is truth. It doesn't matter who you are. If you hear the truth and it resonates, you say, that's true. And some people will fight and wrestle to hold on to old ways, because one of the things that people struggle with is change. Like if you want to improve, you have to change. If you're going down a particular, like if you're, for example, you're gaining too much weight, which is affecting your health, you have to change. You have to change your diet. You may have to do some exercise, change your habits. You have to change. And that's the one thing that is constant and recognized by anyone, right? One thing that is unanimous. Doesn't matter whether you're black, white, green, yellow, purple, pink, Christian, Muslim. We can come here and say Rahubat, or we can say Assalamu alaikum. We can say, Shalom lakum, Hebrew. Arabic, we can say, like I said, Assalamu alaikum. We can say greetings, Rahubat. We keep the tones positive. You can say hello, but we know hell is low, is a low vibration. We're trying to raise everyone's consciousness and vibration to be more positive, to think faster and react with right knowledge, right wisdom, right understanding, and most of all, sound right reasoning. All right? So yes, you've got to graduate, and that's what Wu-Sabat's here to do and help you do that.